Curt Hennig, but to you people, I'm Mr. Perfect. And I know a lot of you people sitting there right now wonder what it's like to go through life without making any mistakes. No blemishes, no flaws, from head to toe, absolutely perfect. Yes, being perfect, it has its boring times, like a simple game of billiards. Well, fool to you common people. Like I said,
Hey, Curt Hennig fans. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Nobody Beats Curt Hennig. Nobody. I am your host, Mrs. Witchy Perfect. Again, not on screen and not on camera. I'm sorry. I'm really not feeling well at the moment. My story is that on Wednesday, I had an appointment and I ended up walking around the local city that I do not like going into. I avoided it at all costs, but I had this appointment, and my father took me to this appointment, and we got a little turned around. So we were walking around this city, for like 15-20 minutes. I was late to the appointment, but they understood. We also had severe thunderstorms in the area, and I just want to let you guys know that this is being recorded as of 5/23, so May 23rd. Wednesday was the 20th of May, so you guys will see this in June. It'll be like the middle of June, so my plight in May will be your reward, I suppose. But anyway, my father and I were walking around, and again, we couldn't figure out which street we were on in the city. We literally got all turned around and spent 15 minutes walking around. Finally, we get to the building, and I had to go through security because it was a government building. And again, it's nothing bad. Nothing bad happened. Actually, it could be good depending on what happens. But anyway, I had an appointment and I'm walking around the local city and with my father, of all people, and we got kind of turned around, but we got what we needed. We got through the appointment, and I was wearing shoes I should not have been wearing and got blisters on both of the back of my feet. Yes. So my pain is your pleasure. So anyway, well, I said pleasure, so that will not go up for promotion there. Apparently, YouTube cries when you say the word pleasure. Probably because they don't get any. Anyway, moving on. So Wednesday was not a great day. We had severe thunderstorms in the area, and I'm walking around the local city with my father. We have no idea where we're going. We're just walking aimlessly, trying to find where I can find this government building. And no, it's not a courthouse. So everyone's like, oh, she had to go to court. No, I didn't have to go to court. I don't go to that courthouse unless I absolutely have to. And I almost had to because I almost had jury duty. I don't know anyone who would rather be at work than be at jury duty. I would have rather have been at work than jury duty. Like, I don't like courthouses, guys. It's not my scene. You know, there's only reasons why you need to be at a courthouse, and I don't want to be one of them. So, so anyway, that was my plight. And like I said, my pain will be your pleasure. We'll have a good laugh about it. That's what we're here to do. We're here to laugh and have fun. And I tell you some stories because I'm human, you know, I'm not a robot. Obviously, you guys have seen my face if you watch on Rumble. You've heard my voice on YouTube, and you've also seen my face on YouTube with the shameless plugs. So it's not like you don't know what I look like or how I sound like. So anyway, let's get back to the fun. Kevin Nash getting himself in some deep water. We're going to talk about that. And then Ludwig Kaiser got arrested. How does that happen? What did he do? Well, we shall figure that out and talk about it. Of course, we're going to talk about it. Besides, you get to stare at my lovely background on Rumble. On YouTube, you guys have been staring at my backgrounds forever. It's just it's audio, and it's an audio broadcast. Our main event for tonight, or today, I should say, is the Road Warriors versus Baron von Raschke and Curt Hennig. So yeah, that's an exciting one for everyone who is on Rumble. You guys will actually see the visuals. For you on YouTube, you will hear the audios. We will watch along though. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. Kevin Nash opening his mouth about things. Again, we're not going to watch all of this. We'll probably watch a little bit of it, and then we'll go to Ludwig Kaiser getting himself in some hot water. So here we go. James, take it away. What did Kevin Nash say? Go for it.
Hello, everybody. James here. Now, while I was writing and recording my Doink the Clown video yesterday, I turned my phone off. It turned out it was a hugely inopportune time because during those 2 hours, I was receiving numerous text messages and phone calls and whatnot, blowing up my phone, or would have done if I hadn't turned it off, regarding a video that Kevin Nash had posted on his YouTube channel regarding Maven, Stevie Richards, and myself. Well, I say Kevin Nash posted the video because actually somebody else, I'm presuming, posted it to the Click This channel, considering that Nash is still using a plug-and-play telemarketer's headset with microphone to do podcasting after 4 years. I'm presuming he would struggle to operate a tin opener, let alone figure out how to upload a video to YouTube. But the video itself was aimed at Stevie and to a lesser extent Maven, so but doesn't mention me at all. So I don't even know why I am in the thumbnail for it. In fact, why don't we have a look at it here? There we go. This shoddy thumbnail, and trust me, the quality is worse on this, but the quality is bad even if it was a fresh quality without sending it through Facebook Messenger. I have no idea why I'm in there. I've got my ideas. But anyway, the whole crux of that video that they posted with the word bottom feeders on is that Kevin Nash is crying hard on it about why he refuses to bury people on his podcast before immediately burying Stevie and Maven for being, quote, bottom feeders. Yes, let's move over all the AI slop news channels and wrestling promotion glazes because they're so desperate to get an interview with a signed wrestler from WWE, AEW, and forget about all those fake list channels with fake thumbnails representing nothing that's being discussed in the video, and the YouTube channels that clearly buy their views and subscribers and their comments sometimes as well to boost their own sad little egos. The bottom feeders, it turns out, in professional wrestling content, are the more popular video YouTube channels, the more widely viewed wrestler-driven YouTube channels who talk about the business honestly and without fear or favor, are genuine and balanced with their opinions, are not affiliated with any wrestling promotion, unlike Kevin Nash, who I'm pretty sure has got a Legends deal and does all that merchandise deals with WWE, and are also realistic and self-reflecting and honest about their own careers and experiences, who knew it was them that were the problem all along. But all of this has come about because Stevie dared to talk about Stephanie McMahon's WWE Hall of Fame speech that went too long. Seriously, that is what
it went way
all of this is about.
And it was boring. It was all about her. Hey, let's put Stephanie over. Okay, great. You put Stephanie over. Stephanie was the boss's daughter. The only reason why she got anywhere in that business is she was the boss's daughter. This is why back in the territories, sorry, James, I didn't mean to have an awkward pausing moment. But back in the territories, usually the son of the promoter did not get the belt because they didn't want the boys to basically say, well, you're just the boss's kid, so that's why you have the belt, right? I think that's a dumb idea, but what do I know? So anyway, we're going to hear more of this, but I just wanted to say Stephanie basically blew Stephanie at this point. All right, here we go.
Now, Kevin Nash is just white knighting for his best friend Triple H's wife without really disputing anything whatsoever that was said in the Stevie video, instead relying on the usual lazy, it's Kevin Nash, I'm a top guy, you weren't tropes instead. Now, the hypocrisy of the following quotes in the video.
Well, the only reason why he was a top guy, and I'm using quotations here, the only reason why you are a top guy, Kevin Nash, is because of your friend Shawn Michaels, who was a drug addict. Or as Shawn said in his own documentary, a functioning drug addict. So, yeah, okay. So it's only because of the click is why this guy was a mainstream guy. Because trust me when I say Kevin Nash was not a good champion. And they didn't get very good ratings, did they, during the whole Diesel WWF champion stuff? I mean, if they had Curt Hennig, maybe they'd actually have some ratings. And WCW wouldn't have been kicking the crap out of them because WCW had Hogan and Savage and all those people. All right, back to this.
Considering the source and considering Nash's inane, slurring, whining throughout all, it's almost impossible for the functioning mind with active brain cells to comprehend. So let's buckle up and let's watch. Yeah, that's a bit embarrassing. It seems that the video has been made private. Shame, because the video itself was previously made unlisted, but I had the link. But no doubt it was unlisted and then made private because it was the most wildly unpopular video in the history of Click This uploads. I'm presuming. I can't imagine there was anything worse than that. We are talking Jey Uso levels of winning the Royal Rumble levels of unpopular here. Now, before the video was removed, I actually took that link and I checked the dislike ratio on a third-party website, and it was around 55% or so dislikes. More people who watched that disliked that video than liked it, which is almost impossible for a podcast clip video where only your own fans are watching. I mean, without drowning a sack full of hedgehogs or something like that, that's almost unfathomable to achieve, that ratio of dislikes on YouTube. But anyway, no doubt the video was also taken down, aside from the thumbs up and thumbs down, mostly the thumbs down, was because 99% of the comments, and I am not exaggerating when I say that, I mean, it's got to be at least 95%, I'm telling you, were clowning on Kevin Nash's take like he was Ray Apollo Jr., calling Nash everything from a massive, unadulterated hypocrite to being impossibly ignorant or ill-informed to just coming across as an insufferable prat. Now, because we don't have all day to speed up the footage for human ears and edit out all the swearing. We just do not have that much time here. I'm just going to read out the most salient passages myself and then react to them. I won't even do the Nash impersonation, but you know what a Nash impersonation on his podcast is. You'll get the gist, essentially, if you think about it. Anyway, Kevin Nash is asked by his co-host if he is reticent to criticize other wrestlers because of the brotherhood, quote unquote, in wrestling. Way to make it not sound like a cult. Specifically, the actual wrestling itself. And he starts talking about punches. Nash claims he wouldn't say anything on the podcast that he wouldn't say to people's faces. And then he blasts someone on the... If he blasts somebody on the podcast, then he is no better than Stevie Richards or Maven. And then Nash proceeds to blast Stevie Richards and Maven for the next 5 minutes. The people he supposedly hates, within like a few seconds of saying that he would never blast someone on his podcast because he doesn't. Do you know, we're already in Inception here. Like, anyway, quote, and I say quote, I have had to take out so many repeated words and unnecessary swearing in it is untrue. And just makes some kind of semblance of what he was actually going for. Can you believe that Stevie Richards, have you seen his tape, like it's reel to reel, that he said about Stephanie's Hall of Fame speech? Now, his co-host Sean Oliver then basically tries to hint that it's all a quest for views, you know, rather than it being a news story that we covered at the time because it was interesting and shock horror. It was newsworthy. Of course, Kevin Nash would never cover a news story on his channel, on his podcast, and have an opinion on it. Quote, do you want to be the shit stain on the bottom of the toilet bowl like you're nobody? You weren't ever anybody. And then now it's like there's no validity to anything you say. You just come across as somebody, some hack that's trying. I mean, like it's like prostitution, like you're a click prostitute. Yes, the whole I got more fake wins in wrestling, so my opinion means more than you. Because I don't like what you said. Not that I'm actually going to refute anything of what you said, because I can't actually refute anything that you said with facts, any of the points that you made. This is Ric Flair 2.0, ladies and gentlemen, more ways than one. Quote-ish, those two come to mind. He's talking about Stevie and Maven, because it's just there on YouTube, and it's always there. And then Sean Oliver jumps in with, there's salacious clips I thought set up to titillate. Okay, So now what I'm seeing here is the actual problem they've got. Stevie and Maven's videos are everywhere, and that right there is part of the problem for them. Maven and Stevie are everywhere because they're really good at what they do. That's why Stevie gets 6 to 8 times the amount of monthly YouTube views that Kevin Nash gets on YouTube, despite posting far.
I agree, because I tried to watch Kevin Nash's show, and I'll be straight with you guys, I could not watch it. The only time I would watch Click This or have anything to do with it really was literally if he said something about Curt. And, you know, Kevin Nash does talk about Curt briefly. And, you know, they did hang out together. Kevin Nash tried to say that Curt was the father of the clique. Well, first of all, Curt wasn't in the clique. So I don't know what the heck you're talking about. I have no recollection of Curt saying, hey, let's get a clique together. And then, you know, y'all hang out. By this time, I mean, it was Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall. That was the clique. Curt Hennig was not wrestling because he couldn't because of his back. He was out sidelined and he was a commentator. Now, to say this, I will defend Curt to the end. Okay, in my opinion, I mean, this is why we have a show. We have a show because I admire, and I'm sure all of my audience, and this is why you're here. This is why my audience is here. And this is why I'm hoping that my audience will thumb up this. Hey, hit that like button, please. I don't have the money to pay for people to make comments down in the comment field. People just do because they like my content, or they like what I'm talking about. And I try not to talk about AEW because I do not like that. Trigger warning for all those who do like AEW. That's fine. You have your opinion about AEW and I have mine. But the main reason why we're here is our admiration for Curt Hennig, one of the greatest wrestlers, and in my opinion, the greatest wrestler to ever live. Again, your opinion is going to differ from mine. We all have different opinions. That's why we live in the good old US of A. And some who live outside, again, you are always allowed to have your opinions here. This is free speech territory, in my opinion. Everyone has their own opinions about this or about that. But when it comes to Curt Hennig, I will defend that man till the end of time. Because, again, he was my hero. I admired him. I thought his pranks were funny. I thought his ribs were hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing at the one on the plane with the, you know, the guy in the glass, the poop on the glass. And people are not going to share my, you know, comedy sense. Okay, that's great. But even if you can't, we can't all agree on that Curt was the genius of ribs. We can all agree that he was a great wrestling technician. He gave us 110%, even when he was not at 110%. You know, he had his back problems, and, you know, surgery didn't help. And yes, he was on painkillers because he had to be. You know, and these are not controversial topics, okay? Everyone knows that a lot of the older wrestlers, the veterans, were on painkillers because of what they put their body through every single night of the week. And I'm not making that up. I'm not dramatizing. A lot of the newer wrestlers, they have easier schedules. Go back and ask a veteran, how was your schedule? If you can find one who's still around. Their schedules were brutal. They barely had any time for rest. And if you were injured, guess what? You didn't have any health care to back it up. These guys had to get their own health care because they certainly weren't going to get it through the promoters. For heaven's sake, guys. These were independent contractors. They're not even real employees. They had to, at the end of the year, file taxes, and I'm sure a lot of them paid in. Because they don't take the taxes out of paychecks like that. Yeah, that's good for a while, but when you're getting millions and millions of dollars, you have to know what kind of taxes you're paying in. Actually, a lot of these guys didn't get $1 million. Millions and millions. I'm thinking of Bret Hart, who got like $4 million from WCW. I believe Curt never got that much. I'm sure it was around in, the millions that he made throughout the years. But I doubt seriously any of his contracts were at least $1 million, though they should have been, because he deserved every penny, because he was a great technician. And again, this is why we're here. Kevin Nash has never really said anything derogatory like Ric Flair, or he really hasn't said, oh, Curt, he's a piece of crap and blah, blah, blah. He hasn't really ran him through the mud. So, I sympathize with Stevie. I think Stevie also admired Curt, even though they didn't really talk. I did see an episode. It was a really cool episode. Stevie takes all the WCW wrestlers and puts them in A, B, C, that kind of thing. And he admitted him and Curt never really talked. They were just kind of like ships passing in the night. But at least he gave an honest, opinion of Curt. He heard all the stories. He heard all the rib stories. He even was, I'm sure he heard a couple from the other boys. And with Kevin Nash, I've never heard Kevin Nash say, oh, Curt was a piece of crap, blah, blah, blah. He was a bad wrestler. He was the shits, as they call him. Jim Cornette likes to do that. But Jim Cornette even has mutual respect for Curt Hennig. Everyone in this business knows who Curt Hennig was and has mutual respect for him, because, as Kevin Nash put it himself, it was like a night off with Curt. And I've heard that throughout many, many, many interviews with titlematch.com. Check that out. I've heard many, many opinions like that. When you wrestled Curt, it was a night off. It was like a night off, because Curt would take care of you. And he wouldn't do anything, he wouldn't go out of his way to make sure that you got hurt. He was a very safe wrestler. He was a great technician, and we severely miss him. And, he was a great man outside of the ring as well. He was a great father. He was a great husband. He was a great everything. And this is coming from me. Okay? Again, he's like my hero, and he is my hero. And I will defend him till the end of time. And a lot of the other wrestlers, and I'm talking lots. I'm talking like the whole roster of WWF, or WWF at the time, and WWE. And Maven was just, I've heard a Maven story that, Curt kind of ribbed him. And, he makes a joke, oh, Curt was a bad, bad man. No, he wasn't. But Maven was just kidding. He was being sarcastic. He knows that Curt was not a bad man. Curt, you just like to have a joke or two. If you ask Maven, what did you think of Curt Hennig? Straight up. No bull, right? He'd probably tell you that Curt was such a great, cool guy, because you always wanted to hang around him. No doubt, right? And like I said, I've never heard Kevin Nash say one bad thing about Curt. Not once. I feel for Stevie Richards. I like Stevie Richards. I like watching his podcast. He really admired Curt and Brett. When he used to do the show with where he used to show the moves, he showed Curt's knee lift. And I love that. Oh, Curt did that so well, because it looked like he actually was hitting him with his knee, but he wasn't. There was a je ne sais quoi. The way that Curt did it, it looked like he was really hurting the person, but he wasn't, right? So he was kind of hitting him with his thigh, but not hard, but he would hit him with the soft side of his thigh, but it looked like at the end of it that he hit him with his knee. That is the genius and the niche of Curt Hennig. And he had it. Everybody agrees. Even Shane Douglas. I talked to Shane Douglas too. Well, through email. And James Romaro, who we have up on the screen right now, literally read my email that I sent. And, Shane Douglas has everybody had mutual respect for Curt Hennig. Not one person I know of has said anything bad about him. Excuse me. even Nick Bockwinkel talks about Curt, and a little tear in his eye when he talks about Curt in the one interview that was on titlematch.com. Look it up on YouTube. They have I think it's just called Title Match on YouTube. If you look it up, they have great wrestling interviews. James Romero has some great wrestling interviews. So if you like, I'm not sure how to spell his name. I'm sorry. Here, maybe I can bring it up on the screen. Right here, right there. So if you guys can see that, that is how you spell it. James, of course, Romero. So if you look that up, you will be able to see that. I think it's great. I really do. I really think it's great how people really admired Curt, and again, the only reason why I went off on a tangent again, but the only reason why I would click this is because I wanted to hear what Kevin Nash had to say about Curt, and nothing but great things. Okay. Now I can't speak for Stevie Richards and I can't speak for James, but Nash needs to keep his rhetoric to himself, because again, people, I never really liked Kevin Nash. I'm sorry. I really didn't respect him as a wrestler or anything. I thought he was cool because he was in the NWO, but then Curt was in the NWO too. So, and Curt made that cool. So did Rick Rude, and Curt, Kevin Nash talks about Rick Rude with such affection. So, that's the only reason why I would go out of my way to watch a Click This episode or video or whatever. And I really didn't stick around because, I haven't subscribed to them or anything. I don't like some of Kevin Nash's opinions, and that's fine. I don't have to. So anyway, more of this, and then we're going to go to Ludwig Kaiser.
Half of your videos, by the way. And Maven gets way more than we do. It's way more than we do. I will show you that in a minute. Despite being nobodies in the wrestling business, of course. And as an aside, Maven is really positive in his videos most of the time as well. So I don't know where this all negative all the time nonsense comes from, apart from the fact that Kevin Nash is clearly.
Well, like I said, when Maven talked about Curt Hennig, now it was a rib that Curt had gone up to Maven and said, "Hey, kid, wear a neck brace so that the Undertaker, you protect the Undertaker." And Taker went and told, Maven went and told Taker this, and Taker was just shaking his head, The Undertaker was just kind of shaking his head, and like, "You're okay, kid," because he fell for Kurt's prank, or his rib. And Maven would say, Curt Hennig was Mr. Perfect was a bad man. But he was just being, funny like that. I'm sure Maven and Curt had mutual respect for each other. Curt was, of course, the veteran in 2002, and Maven was just coming in from, didn't he win Tough Enough or something? I really didn't like the show Tough Enough. I thought it was a stain on the business, but I keep my opinions to myself. Maven, that's the only rib story I've heard from Maven, or ever heard Maven talk about Curt Hennig. But I thought that was really cute. How he just said, "Mr. Perfect's such a bad man." But no, like he was saying it jokingly. He really, I'm sure, had a lot of mutual respect for Curt. And like I said, this is when I took down Ric Flair, I will defend Curt Hennig till the end, because I'm telling you guys, he was my hero. I looked up to Curt. I love Curt as a athlete. And I think that Curt Hennig had it. If anyone in this business, you could point to someone and say, "Yeah, Bret Hart had it, but Curt really had it." All right, more of this. And then we're going to go to Ludwig Kaiser.
Being just an arsehole, and also doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyway, we did a video on YouTube, me and Stevie Richards, on the Stevie Richards show about a month or so ago, about wrestlers attempting to make it as YouTubers and why it is just not a viable career for most. I kept declining to mention certain shows at the time, but the main show and wrestler I was criticizing in my mind with my comments was Click This and Kevin Nash, because it's such a colossal letdown to how good it could be. I cannot speak for the podcast downloads. You just can't get the numbers for them. But as a YouTube channel, which I can find the numbers out for, it's a major disappointment considering that Kevin Nash is a former WWF, WCW champion and a founding member of the NWO. His in the hottest period as well in wrestling in the late 90s. His career in wrestling has been incredible. He is not a household name, but he's a huge name in wrestling as well. And he's also got a decent IMDb credit roll as well. And most importantly, he's shown in past interviews that he's a really good communicator. So where has it all fallen apart? Because click this. If a wrestler's career is anything to go by, should have been almost as popular as The Undertaker's when The Undertaker was an independent content creator before he signed over his podcast to WWE. Click This should be getting 6 to 10 million views on YouTube a month. But it doesn't, for a number of reasons. One, Nash's audio is coming from a headset, so the sound quality is akin to that you might get from a call center complaints line. I hate the StreamYard productions where it's two static videos on screen at the same time at all times because it's the laziest way to produce a video podcast. I hate them. I think it's an all-round ugly production if the host's video, when they're talking, is not zoomed into full screen like Conrad's does. Nash's background and camera positioning and the way he slumps backwards and forwards, it's like he's being forced to record a hostage video at gunpoint begging for ransom money. All he is missing is the orange jumpsuit for the full effect. You legit have to watch or listen to that podcast at least 1.5 times speed to get to any semblance of a point before lapsing into a coma due to boredom. The constant swearing and stuttering from a supposedly great talker, who, by the way, has done some, once again, really good interviews with Sean over the years as well, is really off-putting. And that comes from someone who loves swearing. But at some point, you swear so much that you just sound brain dead if every third word is an F word. The constant political discourse, even if you agree with what they're saying, is not the reason that anybody tunes in. So they are not giving what people want. The fact is, it's absolutely clear that Nash puts no effort into the output whatsoever besides living on screen. That's about it, and breathing in and out to make sure that he doesn't fall over. He rocks up in whatever state he's in, he blathers on for 2 hours, and then he goes back to sleep, probably. That's also a giant turnoff. I like people who put in effort. The fact that it's absolutely... that a lot of Nash's takes are kind of ass as well. I mean, the whole Javon Evans thing was kind of ridiculous at the time. But yeah, I agree with him in principle on certain things. And this is the stuff that makes it into the wrestling news website media kind of thing. So I don't actually listen very often beyond the occasional clip when I kind of need to, for the above reasons as well. Yes, I agree with him on stuff in principle, like when he was complaining about wrestler pay getting cut in half, even though they'd signed contracts and maybe they need to form a union or whatever. But where was all this talk when he was actually in the business, when he could have maybe affected some change? And also, furthermore, he apparently walked back his outrage at the pay cuts as recent as maybe that last episode, I think. I saw it recently, where he was told by WWE that one of the people who accepted the pay cuts were still making great money. So I guess it's all fine now. Anyway, then we get to Nash talking about Stephanie McMahon, which is the real issue in all of this. Quote, ish. Steph, like she was from where her headspace was when I talked to her before she went out there WWE Hall of Fame with her kids and her. I mean, she held it together and she cut a heel promo at the end of that thing. She basically said, follow this, and nobody did. Do you know why nobody could follow Stephanie McMahon? It's because Stephanie took up everybody else's time for her own hour-long ego trip, so everybody else's time got cut, all except for Dennis Rodman's, of course. Steph's, quote, heel promo as well at the end was also total cringe balls as well. But hey, that's in the eye of the beholder. But, no words on Sid Vicious only getting a 70-second video package who, he was actually a drawer in the business and a multi-time world champion like Kevin Nash as well. No, it's all Stevie Richards issues here. Anyway, quote again, you'd have to know, Steph. You could just tell when somebody their whole life that person walked by them and they just prayed that Stephanie didn't say, Stevie. They had no relationship with that person, and it shows because they don't know that person. They don't know the business. They don't know the business. He correlates. Okay, you don't know the business because you aren't personal friends with Stephanie McMahon. That is what that little couple of sentences said. Imbecile. So to me, quote again, it just shows your lack of credibility, your lack of involvement, or your lack of being anywhere above the snails in the tank that just eat like you're just a bottom feeder. And then he goes into the Maven impression, how I make a blade, how to cut yourself. And to be honest, I did a better Southern accent than he did. Why that got thrown in there, I don't know. But anyway, I must jump back in here now because Kevin Nash, who was saying all this complete horseshit, is because Stevie and I in a video a month ago talked about Stephanie's speech going way too long, and that it was ego-driven, and that she's where she is not due completely to her own merit but she was the boss's daughter, which how could anybody argue with any of those things? No rebuttal on any of those points from Nash either, by the way. But you know, she's nice, which I'm sure to people who she's friends with, she's nice. But Stevie and Maven and other people will say, she wasn't that nice. Then apparently Nash declares Stevie isn't qualified to talk about wrestling at all, despite Stevie being a 30-year veteran plus in the wrestling business, because he didn't win enough fake world titles, or that he isn't personal buddies with Stephanie McMahon, so therefore he nor pretty much anybody else has any credibility to talk about wrestling whatsoever. Kevin Nash is giving some real moose, or even worse, Rick Flair. Nobody is allowed to talk about my daughter Charlotte Flair vibes here, and the correlations.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was on mute. I wonder if Kevin Nash would say that about Curt Hennig, because Curt Hennig was neither friends with Triple H nor was he friends with Stephanie McMahon. All right, a little bit more of this, and then we're going to move on to Ludwig Kaiser.
Once again, with an H-boy, do not end there.
Oh,
this is from Sean.
I've taken down Flair before.
The thing with some of these shows, though, is the promise of the clip is based on what it says always seems to underdeliver. And I think that's only going to work so many times. Like if it's unspectacular, like the Statue of Liberty disappeared, but you're not really showing me the right angles here, I'm probably not going to tune in again next year. So somehow this is a David Copperfield reference, but this may be the most risible part of all the quotes here in regards to the complete and lack of total self-awareness, total lack of self-awareness here for two separate reasons. One, that this whole argument against packaging videos so they're clickable, and therefore some people are going to consider them sensationalized, which I completely disagree with. But this is baffling criticism coming from the You Shoot guy, whose most well-known segments were wrestlers getting wrestlers to declare who their female co-workers were hoes, and whether their male co-workers were dicks or not, with a willy blue tacked onto a bag for good measure. I mean, talking about going after sensationalist content for attention. But number two, here's Click This's most recent output compared to Stevie's. And you tell me who is going more down the sensationalized route here. So, you'll notice on the Stevie show that we do one of two things. Either tell you outright what the clip is about, so even Ray Charles knows what the topic is going to be, or we do intriguing titles which quite clearly don't overpromise to underdeliver. In fact, we underpromise, if any of those. And I was going to say that one, but Shawn Michaels is a bully and a liar. I mean, that's about as clear-cut as whatever. Don't do this. Arrow pointed to Hulk Hogan doing a leg drop. Other wrestling YouTubers I watch, why Danhausen's WWE run is amazing. How WWE screwed over the New Day. I mean, I'm kind of struggling. I'm struggling to come up with more obvious stuff that isn't sensational. Like, we're not making things up about what the video is. I was going to give another example on mine here as well. Here it goes. I love Shawn Michaels for saying this. Now, that is one where it is an intrigue-building title. And that's specifically for that to get you to click as well. But what it absolutely, and I will go back to that, what it absolutely isn't here is that Shawn Michaels' head explodes, brain sprayed all over walls, gets up and does sweet chin music anyway. That's clickbait on the bad scale.
All right, guys, we're going to stop sharing. He goes into more of that. But we do have a time schedule. So Yeah, I mean, you guys know how I feel about, click this. I already told you that literally I don't watch it. I don't go out of my way to watch it unless Kevin Nash brings up Curt Hennig. And every clip I've seen that he's talked about Curt, I have heard nothing but great things about Curt. So, all right, we're going to be moving on to Ludwig Kaiser. What did he do? How did he get arrested? Why did he get arrested? We're going to figure that out. So take it away, James.
Hello, everybody. James here. Now, missing in action WWE star Ludwig Kaiser, who was mysteriously replaced by the lither, taller El Grande Americano, was arrested on Wednesday due to getting into a physical altercation with another man for reasons that are currently being contested. So let's have a look here. There is page 1 of the arrest warrant, anyway. So a warrant was filed against Ludwig, real name Marcel Barthel, on Tuesday while Mr. Kaiser was in Mexico. It prompted him to fly back to Florida the next day to face the charges. He was placed in custody and released after posting an $1,000 bond. So Ludwig's legal representative, Thomas D. Somerville, gave notice of appearance to the court, entered a not guilty plea on behalf of Ludwig Kaiser. A trial was requested, by the way, and Kaiser's team stated that they fully intend to participate in the discovery process, everything else, which will give access to all the evidence. Essentially, I think they're after the security video camera tapes that will hopefully prove his innocence. But anyway, what actually happened? Well, we actually have the victim's statement for a start. The victim stated he was battered by an unknown white male just outside the elevator on the 12th floor. The victim advised that at approximately 18:30 hours, I like the military time, he entered the elevator and was followed by an unknown white male and an unknown white female. The victim stated that as the elevator ascended, the male and the it almost sounds like a porn film. It's like going up. The male and female began acting in an uncontrollably intimate manner, which he described as aggressively kissing. The victim stated that once the elevator reached the 12th floor, he exited the elevator and told the couple to please have some manners. The victim advised that immediately after making the statement, the unknown male began attacking him. The victim described the attack as the male punching him multiple times and pushing him to the ground. The victim further stated the male made threats of additional violence towards him. I love the term aggressively kissing. Maybe they were going at it like two carp going for the same piece of corn in the Mississippi River, as Jesse Ventura once said. But to really summarize there, the alleged victim is claiming that he got onto a lift, politely asked Ludwig Kaiser and his lady friend, and also there's a third person there as well, to be more respectful in public, less with the heavy petting. And Ludwig took this request on board by punching the crap out of said person. Seems rather an extreme reaction. Anyway, this is just one side of the story, of course. This is the complainant side of the story. And there has been another side of the story that was advanced not too long ago, less than 12 hours ago, I would say at this point, that pretty much claims entirely the opposite. This is from Raj Giri. I always forget how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. This is what I heard regarding the Ludwig Kaiser situation. He was in the apartment elevator with Andrea Bazzarti, and they were being affectionate, but nothing crazy or out of the ordinary. The alleged victim didn't say anything in the elevator, but once he got out on the 12th floor, he allegedly said something to Kaiser to the effect of, "You need to show some effing respect before I call ICE on that bitch." Which is weird because, I mean, in the affidavit, he did describe her as white. Anyway, Kaiser got out of the elevator and they had a little scuffle, but no punches were apparently thrown. Andrea Bazzarti is currently a host of WWE Espanol as well, and is a Mexican model as well. Is she the one that was always turning up in AAA? Yeah, it was actually. That's her. That's also Ludwig Kaiser's real life girlfriend at the moment. So there's already some kind of discrepancy there going in the affidavit.
Well, and here's the thing, guys, and this is my political opinion. So trigger warning for all those listening: if you want to pass this, pass it. And I try not to bring politics into it. But literally, you're talking about a girl who is Mexican and she is from Mexico. She's just with her boyfriend in an elevator and you're going to call ICE on her? Wow. That tells me that you're a piece of crap. You're literally a piece of crap and you should have ICE called on you because you're a piece of crap. You are literally a piece of crap. Guess what? Everybody is the same no matter your skin color. And if you can't see that, then you're the problem. Okay? We're all equal. We're all human beings. Get over it and get over yourself. If you want to turn me off because I say that, then turn me off because I say that. We are all equal here, people. Doesn't matter your skin color. And if you don't like people with different skin color, then you're the effing problem. Exit yourself stage right. Get out of my country. Get out. I don't need you here. We are all the same. Period. More of this.
Describes as white woman, and then in that version that Raschke is promoted there, the alleged victim is claiming that he's going to call ICE on her. I don't know what is going on there. But anyway, there is video evidence somewhere. It just hasn't been released yet. Or more specifically, TMZ hasn't offered the security guard enough money to turn the tape over so they can broadcast it. Now, it's been said that the altercation all happened in Ludwig's own apartment building, and the alleged victim is also a resident of said building as well, which under the terms of his release, Kaiser may not have any contact with the alleged victim. So that's going to be a little more difficult since they both live in the same building. But a more pressing issue with all this is that the terms of Ludwig's release also stipulated he couldn't leave the state of Florida. Or I think that's more or less...
right, so he can't leave the state of Florida. We're going to actually stop sharing because I got to get to our main event. But he literally... See, this is the problem with people who think they're better than everybody else. Look, if you don't like me because of my skin color or the way I put my hair or whatever, great. The problem is you, not me. I have a right to exist. And for anyone who disagrees with me, fine, you can turn me off. I don't care. But the thing is, I've had people say that I should have, ICE called on me and I'm whiter than white. That's fine. Do it. I dare you. What I'm trying to get after here is Ludwig Kaiser. It just sounds like he was trying to stick up for his girlfriend. And the victim is literally playing the victim and saying, well, it was all his fault. It was all his fault. Grow a pair. Okay? Grow a pair. Now, I don't know whose story the truth. There's, he said, she said, and then there's the truth. I don't know. I wasn't there. But if this person really did say that to this nice young lady, then you're the problem. You know what? I would get out of my country. And that goes for anyone else who doesn't like people based on their skin color. Get out of my country. You're not welcome here. And I don't want you on my show. All right, let's get to the main event, which is the Road Warriors versus Baron von Raschke and Curt Hennig, of course. All right, here we go. And we're going to press play now.
Weighing 235 pounds from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, part of the Axe Attack, Curt Hennig!
Yeah! Woo!
His tag team partner from the Republic of Germany, weighing 283 pounds, the Claw Master, Baron von Raschke! And ladies and gentlemen, in the ring to my left, accompanied by their manager, Precious Paul Ellering.
Oh, boy.
With a combined weight of 565 pounds from Chicago, Illinois, the AWA Tag Team Champions of the World, the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors.
because this is when all the marbles are on the table. Either you got to do it or you don't. And he's got a great partner there with the
Oh,
Baron.
marbles, huh?
Well, I won't expect you to be particularly objective about this, Larry the Axe Hennig, because I know there's a
Oh,
lot going
no.
through your mind as you
Oh,
watch Curt and the
no.
Baron. And certainly he couldn't have a more solid
Larry the
tag
Axe
team
is
partner back there
commentating
than the
here.
Claw
That's
Master,
great.
except perhaps yourself.
Well, that's not the case now.
Not
He's
the
in
case
there.
now.
And he's on the road alone with the Baron, and he's going to do it. This is for the championship. This is a real test. This is what he's been looking for, and so is the Baron.
Well, Curt Hennig and the Animal square off first. The Animal turned his back for a minute, and Curt was thinking about it. They lock up in the center of the ring. Then the big man just throws Curt Hennig one-handed to the turnbuckle.
Boy, I'll tell you.
Joe
he's
had
strong.
some strength, no
Didn't hurt
doubt.
Curt, but it surprised him.
Kurt's got to be quick. He's got to be sharp in there. Tell you that. So does the Baron. These guys are here to win. They're the toughest team in the world today.
It's been asked many a time, where is the team that will stop the Road Warriors? Crisscrossing now in the center of the ring, and both the Animal and Curt Hennig grab hold and hit the brakes now. And you hear precious Paul Ellering.
You can hear him say, hey,
Standing
now
at
what
the
are you
side
going to
of
do
the
now,
ring.
Curt Hennig?
There he is. Oh, and a big flailing punch with a hawk.
Miss.
Wow. Be on your toes, my boy.
Oh, my goodness. That was
Curt
from a
Hennig looking
child.
eye to eye with the hawk.
Go ahead, kill him.
First the voice with me, that of
Good.
Larry the
Molly
Axe
Miss
Hennig.
Molly.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh, Kurt's in the wrong corner now.
Well, you got to get out of there, Curt.
He's in the wrong place now, and wisely, the Baron just comes charging right in. Baron doesn't brook any nonsense. That's one thing for sure about Baron von Raschke. He could care less whether it's tag or not.
Well, it looks like a standoff here. I don't think they know quite sure that their tactics are, but I'm sure they got a good game plan coming in here.
Curt and the Baron had a little conference over in their corner, and Curt comes back in the center of the ring against the Hawk. The Road Warriors, part of the Legion of Doom, which also includes, of course, their manager, precious Paul Ellering. They've held that tag team title for a while. Big, tough. Oh, right over the eyes and the face. Curt blinded momentarily, but he made it to the corner. He made the tag, and here comes Baron von Raschke. He goose steps to the center of the ring and goes right to work. No pussyfooting around with the Baron. He goose steps right in there and locks in. You can beat on him if you want, but he's not going to run. Off the ropes. Whoa, what a collision. Look at this. The Baron and the Hawk. Again, a standoff. And again,
He's hit with a claw.
he showed the claw. And the Hawk wants no part of that, and wisely so. Look at the Baron. Come on, Hawk, if you dare.
290 against 290 in there, and no one wanted to move. I can tell you that.
What a couple of collisions. I mean, like a couple of locomotives hitting head on.
You know, I hate to say this, but I think that the Curt and Baron are giving these Road Warriors all they want right now.
Well, they really are. The Baron now working on the Hawk in the center of the ring.
I don't really hate to say it.
No, I don't think you hate it at all. Larry Hennig. Now the Baron pounding away on the Hawk, who's wrapped over the top rope. Takes into the corner. There's a little teamwork. Oh, right
across
Curt
the arm.
Hennig.
Atta boy. Oh, there I go. There, atta boy.
It's all right, Dad. Curt Hennig now working on the Hawk. Whoa, he took a tremendous haymaker from the Hawk. And another one. Spinning off the ropes, Curt Hennig again has wound up in the wrong corner. Every wrestler's worst nightmare is to wind up in the corner of the Legion of Doom. The tag team championship belts on the line. Uh-oh. Look at this.
No, you got to get out of there, Curt.
Curt, what can he do? Oh.
You got to move out of there. You got to go.
And Curt Hennig,
They're coming after
now.
you. Got to get out of there.
There's two, and he just kicked his way out.
Uh-oh.
There's a reverse chin lock now, put on by the Hawk on Curt Hennig.
Well, we'll find out how much tough he really is right now.
No submission, of course. Larry Lazowski, the referee, asking, and Curt Hennig saying, no way. But, boy, you know he's getting the punishment. And the Hawk, just that animal guttural noise that he makes.
Come on, you got to fight out of there to beat these guys. There's no tomorrow.
Curt Hennig using two fists once, twice, 3 times to back the Hawk to the corner. Spins into center. Oh! Full blast and face first into the turnbuckles. What velocity!
It's got to be tough. It's now or never, Curt and Baron. You got to put your stuff together.
Ooh, big knee by the animal. Curt Hennig trying to get over to his corner where his tag team partner Baron von Raschke is waiting. But I don't think so for now. A close-fisted punch by the Hawk. Curt Hennig is on his knees. Off the ropes. Oh, and a big elbow smash by the Hawk. The Baron reaching for the tag.
He's got to get up and fight.
Or at least get up.
He's got to wrestle. He's got to be tough.
He'd like to just make
no
that
tomorrow.
Tag. Instead, the Hawk tags the animal. Here comes the big man.
That's what we got carved on a tree at home. There's no tomorrow. There's only today. He's going to have to do it.
Curt Hennig, two-fisted again. Oh, backbreaker. One, twice. He turns it around to show the other side.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm getting aggravated with that right now. I can tell you that.
Larry the Axe Hennig sitting with me. I don't know how much of this he can take. There's a
got to get out of there.
1, 2. Knocked away. I thought he was almost going to get a hit scissors for a minute, but at least he broke the hold. Reverse headlock now by the animal. Chin lock. Of course, no submission. No question about that. The animal working on Curt Hennig, who took 3 rushing backbreakers.
Well, he's got that knee right in the spine, and he's drawing back on that chin. You know, he could give up any time. I hope I know him that well that he won't do it.
Larry Lazowski says, come on, what are you saying? Curt says, no way. Trying to get out of that hole, Baron von Raschke. You see him on the left of your screen, getting the crowd going. He's getting that German blood pumped up. And look at Curt. Look at Curt twisting and turning.
Got to fight out of there.
Up. Curt Hennig.
He's got to fight.
Still, the animal holds on. No, Curt again, full blast to the turnbuckles. But he met the animal with the legs and the feet at full throttle. Now, there's the tag. Here comes the Baron.
Oh,
fingers in the eyes of the animal to the Hawk. The Baron is working. The animal off the ropes, up and over. Look at the Baron.
The Baron is going to go. He's up. He's fired up.
Here's the claw. Here's the claw. There it is. The Baron has the claw on the animal.
This could be it.
Could this be the end of the Road Warriors? The Baron with the claw. Oh, but in comes the Hawk. There's the tag, and Curt Hennig back in while the animal's still woozy. Pounds on him. There, the whip off. Elbow smash. Curt Hennig on the second rope. Poise. Here he comes.
Oh, he got him with the drop kick.
Flying drop kick off the rope. Curt Hennig. Oh, missed that one.
Oh,
comes right off.
Oh, he's caught in the rope.
And he's caught in the rope.
They got to help him out of there.
Larry the Axe Hennig. Take off those headphones. Larry the Axe Hennig now is going to try and help Curt off the ropes. Look at him. He's all twisted up and caught on the ropes. You see Larry Hennig trying to help Curt, but now the Hawk starts pounding away on Larry the Axe Hennig and on Curt, who's all caught up in the ropes. Oh, and it's mayhem. Larry the Axe Hennig now. Larry Hennig coming in with a folding chair. Here comes Hennig with a folding chair. And the Hawk nails him. Curt Hennig still trussed up in the ropes. Look out! Now the folding chair by the Hawk. The Hawk using the folding chair. Now Precious Paul Ellering coming in to help as well. You see him right above our broadcast position. Here comes Larry the Axe Hennig. Oh, there goes referee Larry Lazowski. Look at this. Total pandemonium. Larry the Axe Hennig has just leveled. There goes the animal. There goes Precious Paul Ellering.
Well, they're all in there now.
Blood streaming from the forehead of Curt Hennig down in front of us. The bell ringing as they're trying to free Curt Hennig from the ropes. Larry the Axe Hennig destroying the Road Warriors. There they go out of the ring. There they go, the Road Warriors. Curt Hennig now finally freed from the ropes.
He bleeding.
The match is over, and Larry the Axe Hennig calling for a doctor now. Ladies and gentlemen, the match has been ruled no contest and out of control. Huh? Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's still going. Now, wait a minute. The fans getting into it with the Road Warriors as they leave the arena.
Yeah, they just want to
All
tell you how they feel.
fans again, absolutely everyone here, unbelievable at what took place.
All right, so they're going to do an interview there with the Road Warriors. We are going to get out of here because past my time. Just want to keep this around an hour or so. So I hope you enjoyed this. And again, you know, I get very fiery and passionate about that kind of stuff because, you know, this is, you know, I'm very passionate about things and, you know, it is what it is. All right. Anyway, next week we will do more than likely. I totally forgot about Rick Rude. I hope he doesn't mind. But I want to do another tribute to Ravishing Rick Rude. We will watch some of his matches and go over some of the matches in his career, which was a great career, I think, for Rick. So I will see you next week back here, same time, same channel. For Nobody Beats Curt Hennig, nobody. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody. Bye, guys.
Hey, Curt Hennig fans. Hello, and welcome to the Shameless Plugs. I wanted to do an updated version because I no longer have Patreon. I don't know if anyone has seen and down in the description field. The first shameless plug I would like to do is for my Cash App and my PayPal account. If you can donate, please, please, please donate today. I actually had one donation, but that was more for my birthday. So anyway, if you can donate, please see the links in the description field for my PayPal and my Cash App. I'd like to start off by saying also, and I will say this at the end, I have an AI outro that is AI generated. I actually made a country song dedicated to Curt. I made several. Just in case there also maybe in the future or right now is going to be an AI intro. So I just want to let you know that the intro also could be AI, and this is for Amazon. Excuse me. This is for YouTube only. YouTube only. So the first shameless plug I would like to do is Kit Cabello. He is one of my great, great friends. Excuse me. I love him to death. And what a great man, great guy, all around great friend as well. You can catch him on Heartlands Media. That's 9 a.m. Central, Monday through Friday. And he will tell it like it is. Trust me, he will tell it like it is. Can't say enough great things about Kit Cabello. Also, check out Angel Riviera. He is in Angel in the Afternoon. And of course, he is my host for Pro Wrestling Talk. Pro Wrestling Talk is every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though those are scheduled to change due to family issues or WrestleMania or a pay-per-view. Also, I would like you to, but definitely check out Angel in the Afternoon. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and he also tells it like it is. Way to go, Angel. Okay, on to deconstructing topics. My big brother, Dave. I can't say enough great things about Dave. He is a big supporter of mine, and I'm a big supporter of him. If you check out Deconstructing Topics, he has his own show. I'm not sure what episode he's on right now, but he has a great podcast. Please, please, please listen to it. You can check it out on YouTube. I don't know if he's on Rumble, but I'll see if I can get a Rumble link. All these links are in the description field if you want to check these people out. Also, I'd like to mention my little kid brother, Alex Knight. We are actually not really related, but I see him like a little brother. So anyway, Alex Knight, you can find him on Angel in the Afternoon. You can also catch him on Pro Wrestling Talk. And I think he's going to do a baseball podcast with Angel as well. So check that out. That'll be on Sundays. I'm not sure the time. I'll have to get that from Angel later. But I just want to make sure that you check him out because he is a great person and someone I can call friend and little brother. The next shameless plug I'd like to do really fast is Black Magic Talk is my other show, guys. If you would like to check that out, all you have to do is click the link in the description field, and blessed be to you if you are also a witch, wizard, or warlock, or whatever you call yourself. You can check that out in the description field. We have a lot of fun over there. I love to have on special guests, especially Sonia Smith. She's a very dear friend of mine. I hope you will subscribe to all these people on YouTube or on Rumble. We are also on Rumble. The Rumble description field, the link is in the description field. Sorry. If you would like to check that out, this will be going on YouTube, of course, because I don't need this for Rumble. I could put it on Rumble. I think I might. So if you are on Rumble watching this and you would like to see the YouTube version of this, it's mostly audio that you will see, except for this part, right? Just check us out on YouTube. The link is in the description field. And again, if you want to check out Black Magic Talk, you can check that out too, where we talk everything pagan and Wiccan. There is no evil or black magic, of course. It's all great fun, and we have a good time. If you like a personal tarot reading from me, click the link in the description field below. I can get you my, my pricing and stuff. If you would like to be a guest on the Black Magic Talk, or if you'd like to be on Pro Wrestling Talk, you can DM me on X. My X is in the description field for both Black Magic Talk and for Curt Hennig podcast. Go ahead and hit those in the description field and DM me, and feel free to ask if you'd like to be a guest. If there's anything else, concerns, or if you would like to just give feedback, you can always DM us on X and so on. Just want to mention my Cash App and my PayPal account are in the description field. If you can give to the show, great. If not, please enjoy the show. That's what we are mainly here for, just for your entertainment purposes only. And again, I will reiterate that the AI outro song is AI generated. That is for everyone, for Rumble and for YouTube. Also, there could be an AI intro song. Just want to let you know that if there's ever an intro song, it is AI generated on YouTube. I created a couple of songs here and there, a couple of country songs I think that Curt would like. So I hope you check those out. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect or Curt Hennig. Nobody.
I remember those nights in the TV glow, watching you a hero in the ring. With every match, you'd steal the show, making us believe impossible things. Golden locks and a confident stride, wrestling through battles both big and small. With a perfect plex, you turned the tide. Mr. Perfect, you had it all. Oh, Mr. Perfect, where'd you go? In our hearts, you still steal the show. In a world that's moved too fast, your legacy's meant to last. Behind the glitz and all the fame was a man with strength and grace. Though we never knew your name, you left a mark time can erase. I can still hear that entrance theme echoing through arenas and TV screens. A legend in his prime and dream, you remain in all our scenes. All on the nights when stars glow bright, I think of you and your fearless fight. Gone too soon, but still inside. Mr. Perfect, you are a guiding light. promises meant to last. Behind the glitz and all the fame was a man with strength and grace. Though we never knew your name, you left a mark time can't erase. Though we never knew your name, you left a perfect. You